Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on LA56.
A local family's home is firebombed. Was it a hate crime?
The ISIS terror group claims American hostage Kayla Mueller was killed by a Jordanian air raid. The White House says there is no proof. Jordan calls the ISIS claim a lie.
Tonight, a big announcement from the UC system about measles. Students won't be admitted without a vaccine. Good evening. I'm Ruta Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ona. Welcome to Eyewitness News at LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. An arson investigation underway in Manhattan Beach after the home of an African-American family is firebombed. The family believes it was a hate crime, and tonight hundreds of people are rallying in Manhattan Beach to show their support for their neighbors whose homes suffered a major damage from a tire that was ignited on their front porch.
I don't know what the reason is that this happened, but I know this. The outpour of support and love that we received from this community here, it tells me that this is much bigger than one individual.
After years of waiting for justice, family members of women slain in the so-called Grim Sleeper serial killings now have a court date.
Together, Manhattan Beach.
We don't think that the community is racist. We think an individual or individuals are racist.
Two explosions at their front door. The smell of gasoline on what looked like a flaming tire. Was it a hate crime? There was no written note from the arsonist telling the African-American family to move out of this neighborhood of multi-million-dollar homes. But to the couple with 3 children in bed that night, the motive was clear.
Your family and your kids are threatened. Their lives are threatened. To me, you don't have to write it out on a piece of paper or on a house or anything to indicate that.
The FBI has offered its assistance. The ATF has been notified. The Clintons say they have previously found trash and drug paraphernalia dumped at their door. They say they have no enemies. He is a pharmacist. She is a corporate lawyer. They have lived in Manhattan Beach for years.
First thing Ron said is, maybe we've got to move. Maybe there's no support here. Maybe this is not safe. I can't have this happen to you guys again.
Today, along with investigators, they're asking for surveillance video or tips about any suspicious activity around 2 a.m. Wednesday. Meantime, they are fixing the fire damage estimated at $200,000. About leaving, the Clintons say now, no way, especially after supporters have raised thousands of dollars for a reward fund.
I can't wake up in fear. It's just unacceptable to me.
If you have any information at all, you're asked to call the LA Crime Stoppers tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. As for that reward fund, log on to ABC7.com and we'll link you to that site. The target was $25,000, and within 24 hours, I believe they've already reached that number. Reporting from Manhattan Beach, Miriam Hernandez, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Now back to that other story. After years of waiting for justice, family members of a woman slain in the so-called Grim Sleeper serial killings now have a court date. This morning, a judge set a trial date for Lonnie Franklin Jr. This after family members and friends of the victims voiced their frustrations with the long delays in the case. Lonnie Franklin Jr. was arrested in 2010 and charged with 10 counts of murder. 4.5 years later, friends of the victims are upset that they're still waiting for a trial.
Shame. Shame on anything that has to do with this man, and I hope you make the best decision as a judge.
Attorneys for both sides and the judge have all agreed on a June 30th start date. That's almost 5 years from when Lonnie Franklin Jr. was first charged.
Now the latest on the Suge Knight murder case. The family of the man Knight is accused of killing spoke out today. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Starworth reports from West Adams.
I'm just at loss for words.
Jasmine Reynolds says her uncle, 55-year-old Terry Carter's violent death has left the entire family grief-stricken. She says Carter was the pillar of the family, not only raising his own children, but taking in his nieces and nephews, along with multiple foster children.
He was a true example of a man. He took the responsibility as a man, as a husband, a father, a friend. You know, walking through the door and seeing that he's not going to be there is devastating. He was kind. He was always there when I needed him to be there. He was just a phone call away.
Former rap mogul Marion Suge Knight remains behind bars with no bail on a charge of murder in the death of Carter. Knight is accused of hitting Carter with his vehicle following an argument on the set of Straight Outta Compton. a movie about the controversial rap group NWA. Family members want to make it clear, although Knight and Carter crossed paths that tragic night last week, they say the men were not friends.
Before we talk about the incident, we have to put Suge Knight in it, and his name should not even be nowhere in the sentence. In comparison to Terry Carter.
Knight's attorney claims his client was being attacked when he fatally hit Carter and injured Claiborne Sloan. Knight is also charged with attempted murder for hitting Sloan. Family members maintain Carter would never attack anyone because they say he was a peaceful man who would rather help than hurt you.
I just graduated college, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without his support.
Funeral services for Terry Carter will be held here tomorrow at First AME Church. In West Adams, Leo Stoward, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
A storm in the Bay Area is bringing some much-needed rain, but it's also causing quite a few problems. While the wet weather is a welcome sight, it also left thousands without power and shut down several schools. The rain made for some slick roads, causing one big rig to skid, leak some diesel fuel, and cause a small traffic jam. The weather caused massive delays at San Francisco International Airport. The storm may dump up to 10 inches of rain in some areas. So will we see any of that rain from this storm here in Southern California? Meteorologist Jonathan Novak has a first check of the forecast.
Through the Bay, folks. Yeah, the answer is yes. Looks like some showers will be moving into the area from this system. This is one of two over the weekend that we're going to be seeing. And very heavy rainfall from the center portion of the state and even some snow up around the High Sierra. All the way to the north portions of the state, you see some snow here showing up on that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD from Mammoth over to Lake Tahoe. And these yellow and orange portions that you're seeing here, those readings, those echoes are some of the heavier rainfall, of course, and they're going to be seeing several inches of rain here in this first system and then adding to it as they go through Sunday. And this is all moving to the east and the southeast, so we will start seeing some of these light showers move into Santa Barbara and then eventually into Ventura County and LA County by the morning time. So look for some rain for the first half of tomorrow. Won't be a tremendous amount, maybe about 1/4 of an inch at the most in LA, maybe about 1/2 of an inch in Ventura. I'll tell you how long that rainfall will last coming up in that full 70 forecast.
All right, Jonathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
The ISIS terror group claims American aid worker Kayla Mueller has been killed during a Jordanian airstrike. Mueller was taken hostage a year and a half ago. The raid was on the ISIS stronghold of Raqqa, which ISIS calls its capital. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda has details.
ISIS says a coalition airstrike by Jordan left the American hostage dead. She's 26-year-old Kayla Mueller, an aid worker held captive by the militants since August of 2013. An ISIS Twitter post shows what appears to be a collapsed building. They say Mueller was held in that building. The State Department says it is investigating the claim.
I cannot confirm those reports in any way.
Do you know?
Obviously, people are looking into them, but cannot confirm them.
Okay. Do you know if the woman in question is alive still?
We're just not going to get into specifics about Americans being held overseas.
Mueller is from Prescott, Arizona, and police are blocking the road where her family lives. ISIS, in this case, did not provide any photographic evidence of Mueller's death, as they've done in the past with other hostages. U.S. officials are warning that the unconfirmed claim should be met with skepticism. Jordan is calling the ISIS announcement a PR stunt to drive a wedge between the coalition.
Remember, this operation is not only a military operation / security operation. There is the war of ideology. This is going to be a very long war.
And the ISIS claims come as the White House rolls out its new national security policy, one that counts on partnerships and policy to neutralize terror groups.
To degrade and ultimately defeat ISIL, we have assembled a broad coalition that is confronting this scourge from all angles. From training Iraqi security forces and supporting the moderate Syrian opposition, to encouraging political reforms in Iraq.
The family of Kayla Mueller now waits for any information. The fate of their daughter is still unknown. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Carlos Granda, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
TransAsia Flight 235 had problems with both engines before crashing earlier this week. That's according to a new report by Taiwan's Aviation Safety Council. Investigators say one engine on the plane went idle just seconds after takeoff, and the pilot may have shut down the wrong engine. The black box indicates that neither engine was functioning when the plane crashed, but it's still unclear why the pilot switched off the working engine, whether it was accidental or deliberate in an effort to restart the engine. The crash killed at least 35 people. 8 people are still missing.
While Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, remains on life support, a fight breaks out at the W Hotel in Atlanta between members of her family. Listen to the 911 call.
They're having a fight in the bar here. We have a group that's fighting in the bar.
Atlanta police say the family was attending a birthday party for Bobby Brown when a relative got into a fight with her son and hit him in the head with a bottle. This all unfolding as 21-year-old Bobby Christina remains in the ICU at Emory University Hospital. She was found face down in her bathtub last week. Record producer Clive Davis, in town for this weekend's Grammys, spoke about the family tragedy.
I certainly have been heartbroken that the Houston family has to endure such pain again. I have been in touch with them. I've certainly offered my support and prayers.
Davis guided Whitney Houston's career. The pop diva was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel just before the 2012 Grammys.
Major announcement for the University of California. Starting in 2017, all incoming UC students must be vaccinated against measles and other preventable diseases. The new policy has been in the works for some time, but it became more urgent in light of the recent measles outbreak. In addition to measles, students will have to be vaccinated against chickenpox, whooping cough, meningitis, and tetanus. They will also be screened for tuberculosis. Exemptions could be allowed for some medical and religious reasons.
Up next, a girlfriend convinced it was the police who beat her loved one. She hunted down the surveillance video on her own. The police claimed they were attacked. A closer look when we come back.
Plus, an American skier lost in the cold and snowy Swiss Alps for more than 2 days. How he made it out alive.
And how your tax refund could be stolen before you even file a return. A new police brutality case in the headlines. 2 officers in Philadelphia are under arrest, charged with badly beating a man they pulled over. His girlfriend found a key piece of evidence, collecting surveillance video on her own. ABC's Lindsay Janice on her search for justice.
This surveillance video captures a brutal beating. 23-year-old Najee Rivera screams as he's pushed up against a wall by 2 police officers, then hit repeatedly. But that night, Rivera was the one arrested, accused of assaulting officers Kevin Robinson and Sean McKnight and resisting arrest, until that video of the May 2013 incident surfaced.
The video undermined every every aspect of the officer's account of the incident.
That crucial surveillance tape discovered by Rivera's girlfriend.
She went door to door in this Philadelphia neighborhood searching for any business that may have caught the incident on camera. She found one here.
Rivera admits he fled from the officers on his scooter. But on the video, when the police catch up, they knock him to the ground, then strike him repeatedly.
What they did was totally inappropriate, totally improper.
A grand jury concluding Rivera did not attempt to assault either officer, finding the officers later falsified police reports.
This is a case where these officers were doing their jobs, and we look forward to going to trial.
The police officers have been suspended from the force and are pleading not guilty to assault charges. Rivera has already won a $200,000 settlement from the city of Philadelphia. Lindsay Janis, ABC News, Philadelphia.
An American skier who became lost for 2 days in the frozen Swiss Alps is speaking out about his harrowing ordeal. 19-year-old Mark Deuce from Chicago is recovering from hypothermia in a Swiss hospital. Deuce says he lost his way in a snowstorm and then he fell 115 feet into a ravine. He survived the storm by building a snow cave. Deuce was eventually able to climb out. He shouted until nearby passers-by came to the rescue.
When they first answered me, that was just... it was incredible, just to have someone respond after not, talking to anyone or having anyone hear me for almost, 2.5 days.
Deuce says his training as a Boy Scout helped him survive in the cold and snowy conditions.
So, Jonathan, is your mom still digging out? We've seen all those pictures.
I know. The snow over there. We're finally getting some. What is it? It's 4 letters. Sounds like Blaine. Rain. That was it. Yes. I forgot. It's been
a long
time. I know. Finally, some shower activity. Moving in from the northwest. The northern portions of the state are going to get a lot of rain. For us, some. So when you see 3, 4, 5 inches or more up in the northern portions of the state, the central portions of the state, that's still good for everybody. And the High Sierra seeing the snowpack increase, that's good too. And we're seeing that right now, that live megadoppler 7000 HD, that white right there, that's echoes of showing snow, right, from Lake Tahoe down to Mammoth. And some heavier rainfall, got a line right there around Sonora, heading eastward, San Jose, all the way up San Francisco and off to the west, with some pockets of heavy rainfall, some thunderstorm activity. We've seen some lightning strikes through the day. That's all moving through the northern and central portions of the state. As you move southward, the activity really starts to trail off a bit in both intensity and amount in coverage, but it will nevertheless be moving through to some degree around Santa Barbara and then into Ventura County overnight into the morning time, and some of that as well will make it to LA County and into the mountains of LA and Ventura County as well. South of that, I don't think we're going to be seeing much. We're going to be looking for more dry weather, but clouds around, and cooler weather, in fact. But today we had another day, just FYI, of very warm weather. Riverside was 82 today. Yesterday you were 90, so granted we did cool down quite a bit, but still well above average. Downtown it is 60 at the moment, and light winds, humidity is way up. We got the moisture in the air. Temperatures around the board, around the area, are basically in the 60s once again tonight. This is the system of one of 2 that will roll through for the weekend, and the second one's a little weaker. This one's a little bit stronger, so we'll get probably about maybe 1/2 inch in the Ventura County area, and north of that, maybe about 1 inch around Santa Barbara, between, I'd say, about Ojai to over to Santa Barbara. LA looking like, as this rolls through overnight, maybe 1/4 inch at the most. So let's talk about the highs and the rain chances for tomorrow. Again, that chance of rain about 50% as you head up toward Ojai, and then as you get toward LA, maybe about 20% chance for some rain to accumulate tomorrow with highs around 68. The time frame, morning time to the early afternoon. Things will taper off, and in that 7-day forecast, I'm going to say maybe a lingering shower on Sunday. Otherwise, partly cloudy, 73 degrees. And again, that better chance of rain there, that 50%, is northern LA County into Ventura County. And then from next week, wow, it is just going to be another mild one. Breezy on Wednesday, Thursday. We're actually going to see another system roll through at that point, which could bring some showers to the valleys. Right now, that's a ways off, so we're going to focus on the weekend, which has a 50% chance of rain in the valleys, and the IE temperatures back in the 70s by Sunday. A few showers, light rain for the beaches tomorrow and for the first half of the day, and then Sunday looking like it's a little bit drier and 68 for a high. Then Monday and Tuesday, the mountains, just a few showers, 55, back to 60 on Sunday. Next Wednesday, Thursday, you're looking for maybe some snow, though. That's good. No snow for this system. Just a few showers around. Same with the high desert. A little bit of wet activity tomorrow for the first half of your day, 65 on Saturday for the high desert. We're going to check that radar coming up in a few minutes. Back to you after the desk.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Tonight, a consumer alert. With tax season now here, how your tax refund can be stolen before you even file. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the alarming details.
Tonight, taxpayers in Minnesota scammed out of their refunds. 19 states sounding the alarm after TurboTax, used by 30 million Americans to prepare their taxes, discovered suspicious criminal attempts to obtain refunds through its website. The company, now working with state agencies, announcing tonight it is resuming electronic filings of state tax returns after a temporary halt.
As an identity thief, all you need to file a fake tax return is a name, a social security number, and then a doctored-up W-2 form.
TurboTax believes this was not the result of a breach of its systems. A government report now estimating refund fraud costs us more than $5 billion a year. Experts warning tonight the scam artists are circling, on alert after that Anthem Health data breach put another 80 million Social Security numbers at risk.
Once someone has your Social Security number, they have an option on your life, and make no mistake, they will exercise that option on your life at their convenience.
Again, that was ABC's Rebecca Jarvis reporting. She also says if your refund is stolen, you can get it back, but it will take months, possibly even a year of paperwork. The best thing to do is to file early, get your return in, and that's what the experts say.
Up next, Uber is adding panic buttons to its car.
And that's not all they're doing to make riders safe. A closer look coming up.
Plus, a new father forced to choose between his wife or baby after he was born with Down syndrome. The story of this now single dad is going viral and drawing overwhelming support on social media.
California-based Uber is introducing a new panic button in its cars in India. This after a passenger reported being raped by her driver. The panic button will immediately alert police in case of an emergency. They're also adding a feature that will allow users to share their trip details and their location with as many as 5 other people. Again, right now they're doing this in India. They haven't said yet if they'll be adding any features here in the United States.
Facebook and LinkedIn are joining forces to try to boost the number of women working in technology fields. The two companies are launching college lean-in circles to help support women studying in engineering and computer science. The aim is to get more women involved in studying technology to help expand the pool of future employees for their companies.
We all have a goal of raising the percentage of women in these fields. Women make up 57 to 58% of the college students in this country and college graduates, and 18% of computer science degrees.
I'll look around in my classroom and realize I'm only one of maybe 5 or 10 women in the class. When I go to office hours, I could be the only girl, and it's a little intimidating having to ask questions when you have all these men at the table.
Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg launched an international conversation about women in positions of power with her 2011 book, Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead.
We are updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30, including the University of California taking strict steps to prevent the spread of measles on campus.
Plus, an arrest made in the case of a transgender woman who died after a botched silicone injection.
And a family under arrest accused of faking a kidnapping to teach a 6-year-old boy not to be too friendly. The bizarre case, when Eyewitness News on LA56 continues.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 7:30, a vigil is underway for a Manhattan Beach family after their home is firebombed. I'm David Ono.
And I'm Rutabaga Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. The blaze erupted just after 2 a.m. on Wednesday. The family thinks it may have been a hate crime, even though there was no written message. Investigators are ruling it as a hate crime is premature because they must first identify a suspect. The family is hoping there is some surveillance video out there that will help them track down a suspect. The fire did an estimated $200,000 worth of damage.
Another big story tonight. The University of California is taking action in an effort to stop the measles outbreak and other diseases. Today they announced students entering the system in 2017 will be required to be vaccinated. Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez visited UC Riverside and got reaction from students.
Vaccines are a hot-button issue of late, and the University of California added to it with its new health mandate. Starting in 2017, all incoming UC students are required to be vaccinated against preventable diseases.
I think that's a pretty great idea, to be honest, just for health concerns and health reasons.
This coming fall, the university will begin an awareness campaign, letting students know about recommended vaccines and the process for making them mandatory. According to the UC, in recent years, all its campuses have experienced cases of vaccine-related diseases. It's information that doesn't come as a surprise for student Joseph Douglas.
If you look at what kind of a place UCR is, a lot of people are packed very tightly in. Even in smaller classes, you're in very close quarters.
And most UC campuses are located in close proximity to neighborhoods.
Living around here in the community with the students that go here, I would like them to be vaccinated so that way, if they're not, they don't endanger my children while they're at the grocery store shopping next to them.
Exemptions will still be allowed for medical and religious reasons. While the policy doesn't impact current students, it could in the future.
Personally, I think that vaccinations are good, but I guess it depends on the people and their beliefs. Some people believe like science is not good, but I guess as an institution and as a student, I believe that we should be kept safe.
Again, that was Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez.
Police have made an arrest in the case of a transgender woman who died after receiving a silicone injection. Homicide detectives have arrested 44-year-old Liborio de la Luz Ramos in connection to the death of a 40-year-old transgender woman. Ramos allegedly met with the victim to administer shots during a silicone party in Santa Ana back in December. Authorities say the victim later died of silicone embolism syndrome related to a cosmetic injection to the buttocks. Ramos has been booked on suspicion of voluntary manslaughter.
At this point, there is no indication that he has a medical background. He is not a doctor. Obviously, as we've heard from many doctors talking about the story, plastic surgeons would not provide these types of injections into a person's buttocks.
Authorities are now searching for more victims. If you have any information on this case, you're asked to call Santa Ana Police at 714-245-8390.
New at 7 o'clock, we are learning more information about the shooting death of a suspected bank robber. Police have released surveillance video of the crime. Officials say the suspect, Paul Johnson, was involved in a takeover robbery at Pacific Premier Bank in Corona on Wednesday. They say he forced employees at gunpoint into the vault and then robbed the bank and employees. Officers used a bank tracking device to find him. After pursuit, Johnson crashed, then was shot multiple times by police and was pronounced dead at the scene. A woman who drove the getaway vehicle, Patricia Smith, was arrested.
A $75,000 reward is being offered by the LA City Council in the unsolved murder of a teenager who was waiting for a bus in South Los Angeles. Police say a man in his 20s tried to pick a fight with 17-year-old Bert Crump Jr. at around 6:20 p.m. on August 22nd. Surveillance video shows the victim running away as the suspect followed him on a bicycle. Crump tried to escape by jumping into a passing car near Gage and Normandy, but the suspect shot Crump fatally, along with the 73-year-old driver who recovered from his wounds.
I'm so sick inside without knowing what happened to my son. Please, any information is good information.
Police say there's no indication that Crump knew the attacker. Anyone who can help is encouraged to call the LAPD. The man who stabbed a couple to death at a Ventura County beach house has been sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms in prison. Police say 25-year-old Joshua Packer planned to rob the couple, but then attacked them with a kitchen knife and sexually assaulted the pregnant wife. The couple's 9-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter fled through a bedroom window. Packer avoided a possible death penalty by pleading guilty to 3 counts of murder in December.
Today, jurors in the Aaron Hernandez murder trial visited the home of the former NFL player. They also visited other key spots in the murder trial, including the street where the victim lived and the spot where his body was found. Hernandez was not allowed on the tour. He's charged with the 2013 killing of Odin Lloyd, a semi-pro football player who was dating the sister of his fiancée. Hernandez has pleaded not guilty.
A Troy, Missouri mother and 3 others are facing felony charges after faking a kidnapping to teach her young child a lesson. Police say 25-year-old Elizabeth Hupp, her mother and her sister, believed that the boy was too friendly to strangers. So police say the women enlisted the help of a friend who lured the 6-year-old into his truck. The child was allegedly tied up, blindfolded, and terrorized in an emotional ordeal that lasted 4 hours.
They feel like their method of teaching a 6-year-old boy is through pure terror.
Police say during the fake kidnapping, the child's pants were removed and he was told he would be sold into the sex trade. Officials say the family believes they've done nothing wrong. The 4 people involved have been charged with kidnapping and other felonies.
He became famous rapping about pot. Soon he may be selling it legally in Santa Ana. That is Southgate's own Cypress Hill performing Dr. Green Thumb, just one of their many songs about marijuana. Now, group member Louis Freeze, better known as Be Real, is one of 19 applicants who won a Santa Ana City lottery, allowing him to open a medical marijuana dispensary. Be Real posted a photo on Instagram from last night's meeting when he learned he had won. He plans to name his dispensary Dr. Green Thumb, but first he and the others must undergo a police background check.
A new father says he was given an ultimatum by his wife: give up the baby or get a divorce. He chose his son. Now people across the world are moved by his story and are contributing to his cause.
This baby is winning hearts around the globe after his father started a GoFundMe campaign he says is to raise money for his son. Leo was born with Down syndrome. His father says after he refused to give him up because of his disability, his mother and her family left them both. So Leo's father took to the internet asking strangers to help out of the goodness of their hearts. The request was for $60,000 to pay for Leo's first year of life and to move him to his father's native New Zealand. The response astounding. People donating more than $370,000 in just over a week. A look at our ABC7 Facebook page shows how touched people are by the baby and the choice his father made. Parents of children with Down syndrome posting photos of their own children and messages of support. Vanessa Reyes Tovar posting this picture saying, "Here's my hero. He completes me." Another woman saying, "This is my oldest, 28. He is brother to 3 siblings that do not have Downs. He's the love of my life. Blessed to be his mother." Clarissa Munoz posting this picture saying, "My gorgeous sister on her high school graduation. She is the light of our lives." This woman posting, "I have 2 daughters with Downs. I would never abandon them. They're so precious." Brenda Moreno saying, "Our family would not be complete without our brother Randy." All of them lifting up the single parent of the infant whose mother refused to look at him or touch him for fear of getting attached.
And his father again posted on his GoFundMe page thanking everyone for their support and saying some of the additional funds will be used for better living conditions for the baby in Auckland, New Zealand, and for Leo's education, as well as to help fund some facilities and programs in Armenia to help parents keep their children with disabilities, and the only orphanage in that country that regularly takes in babies with Down syndrome.
Wow, a lot of people responded to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Very moved by that one.
Up next, news about the next Hunger Games movie.
And SpongeBob hits the big screen today. Our entertainment guru, George Pinocchio, has what else is new at the box office.
The beach. Kind of a little bit of a beach day today, but the rain is on its way. We've got showers and storms to the north. I'll tell you when it makes it here to Southern California coming up.
Katniss and company are going out in a big way. The final film in the Hunger Games franchise will be released on IMAX 3D starting November 20th. The film's director, Francis Lawrence, says he's excited for fans to see Mockingjay Part 2 in a new level of immersion. And something else for Hunger Games fans, the exhibition. A traveling exhibition will kick off in New York's Times Square. It'll let fans feel as though they are in the world of Panem and features interactive and immersive environments. This is also hard to say and talk about. You'll also be able to see costumes and props from the movie franchise. It opens on July 1st.
The hit drama American Sniper finally has met its match at the box office. This weekend, someone who lives in a pineapple under the sea is expected to make the biggest splash in theaters. Here's entertainment guru George Pinocchio with a look at this weekend's big releases.
What is this place? Uh-oh.
In the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, we find SpongeBob SquarePants going on a quest to discover a stolen book that takes him out of his world and onto our shores. And who does he meet? A pirate played by Antonio Banderas.
SpongeBob! Patrick?
Talk to me, buddy.
I'm seeing a bright light.
Is this better?
Much. Thank you.
The live-action animation hybrid is expected to mop up the competition this weekend. It's rated PG.
I need to know what in the hell is going on.
Sci-fi fans can get some out-of-this-world thrills with Jupiter Ascending. Channing Tatum plays a genetically engineered warrior on the search for a young woman who has no idea she's heir to becoming queen of the universe. She's played by Mila Kunis.
I want a sound, and I want a dance.
The two go on a quest to stop the tyrannical reign of a powerful family. Oscar nominee Eddie Redmayne also stars in this PG-13 rated film. It comes from the Wachowskis, the team who brought us The Matrix.
An order of noble knights combating the forces of darkness. It says here that there are 1,000 of you.
They all died.
Oscar winner Jeff Bridges and Oscar nominee Julianne Moore joined together with actor Ben Barnes for the mystical Seventh Son. Barnes plays a hero born with incredible powers. Seems he's the seventh son of the seventh son. The unlikely young savior embarks on a daring adventure with his mentor to vanquish a dark queen. She's played by Moore. It's based on the first installment of author Joseph Delaney's young adult fantasy series, and it's rated PG-13. George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Well, if you're going to see the film 50 Shades of Grey, leave your props at home, Ruta Bay. That's the word from AMC Theaters. They say that they welcome guests to show their excitement for a film by dressing in costume, but ropes, whips, ties, things of that sort are not allowed. 50 Shades of Grey will hit theaters next Friday, February 13th. And
you're so
anxious to see it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Leave it at home for somebody else.
Way to call me out. A major storm to our north headed our way. Could we see some showers? Jonathan Novak has the complete forecast up next.
Plus, massive pileups as a big snowstorm slams into the northeast.
And in sports, Clipper Chris Paul is criticized for his controversial comments about a female official. Heavy lake effect snow in New York State is getting the blame for a massive pileup crash on Interstate 81. This video from the crash site, you can see the mangled mess of cars. New York State police say 30 passenger vehicles along with 4 tractor trailers were involved. Remarkably, no serious injuries have been reported. Those involved in the crash are being bused to a makeshift shelter at a nearby fire department.
Well, that's a mess over there. But we have some good news around here, at least in California, because a little help on the drought.
We like to see green on the screen. That's my... Came up with that.
Should make a T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm sure people would buy that. They'd wear a T-shirt because it's been really warm, but yeah, we don't want it that way. We want some cold air, we want some snow, we want some rain. We're going to get a little bit of rain, but the snow and the real heavy stuff is up to the north. And hey, that's still good. That's still good. This is a strong system moving through the northern portions of California. You see the motion there as this will all shift to the east and the southeast overnight. So let me bring you to the current image here on the Live Mega Doppler 7000 HD live sweeps heading around. Some snow from Tahoe down to Mammoth. That's good. And this is actually the pink color here is a mix. And then you head over to Sonora. There's some heavy rain, a band of heavy rain over there, and some storm activity as well through the last several hours. Around San Francisco, some heavier pockets of shower activity are moving through as well. And offshore, plenty to go for that portion of the state. For us, we're looking at the tail end of all this to sort of slide over Santa Barbara and into Ventura County, and a little bit of it to make it into LA County for tomorrow morning for the first half of the day, with some lingering showers through Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, temperatures will be cooling down. Today it was 75, not cool, in LA. Normally we're at 68, another really warm one. We were at 82 in Riverside, by the way, and it was 90 yesterday. Another just a warm day today, 63 in Van Nuys. We had a few high clouds, and it's a very pleasant night. 66 Ontario, 72 still in Palm Springs, upper 50s, Santa Monica down to Long Beach, and Santa Barbara's in the upper 50s as well, 57 for you. So this is a front with the frontal system, I should say, with this area low pressure well up here to the north, the Pacific Northwest, northwest of Seattle. And the front along with it is going to be rolling through, again, the northern and central portions of the state for the first half of the day tomorrow. And we'll see some of those showers move on in to Southern California as well. The chance is better around Ventura County. Up through the Santa Barbara area, we're going to go with about 50% for a risk of some rain, maybe a half of an inch up to an inch possibly in the northern portions of Ventura County. For LA, about a 20% chance. And I'd say as you get down to the IE, that chance really dwindles off as you go through the day tomorrow, so don't look for much rain down in the IE. But for LA, Metro and Orange County, northern portions of the area, 50% chance of some light rain, 68 for high on Saturday in that 7-day forecast. So keep the jacket, umbrella handy for tomorrow. Sunday, maybe a lingering shower, otherwise partly sunny and mild. Chance of rain is better in the valleys, IE, all right, up to the northern portions, again, around Ventura. And as you head toward Ojai and you head over to Oxnard and Santa Barbara, 50% chance of that. And then 74 and drier on Sunday. But look at next week, Wednesday, Thursday, we're watching another system. This is good. These aren't really strong systems for us, but at least we're getting something going here. And a few showers here Wednesday, Thursday next week could be that next system. Beaches, a few showers, some light rain and some clouds tomorrow and into Sunday. And then next week looks dry but nice. In the mountains, no snow, but a few showers possibly tomorrow. 60 for a high on Sunday and Monday. The high desert, a few showers as well. The chance is only about 30% for you guys. Crossing our fingers, and maybe an umbrella would be nice for tomorrow.
It sure would.
Yeah.
All right.
And a T-shirt. Buy my T-shirts.
A green one.
Yeah.
Thanks. Clippers All-Star point guard Chris Paul is being criticized for comments he made last night about one of the NBA's female referees. The referees union says Paul's remarks about 34-year-old Lauren Holtkamp were personal and unprofessional. Paul's dispute with Holtkamp came in the third quarter when the veteran point guard tried to get the inbound pass quickly. Instead, Holtkamp stopped Paul from doing so, and Paul was given a technical foul for questioning the decision. After the game, Paul said this job might not be for her, and today he says it was a comment on a bad call, not about her gender. Holtkamp is in her first full year as an NBA referee. The Clippers north of the border in Toronto, Blake Griffin scored only 16 points last night in Cleveland. Tonight, he had 10 points in the first quarter, 19 by the half, as LA led by as many as 20 points. But Toronto stormed back in the second quarter, outscoring the Clips 38-25 in the period to cut the lead down to 2 at the break. And then the Raptors put up another 38 points in the third quarter to take control of the game. Former Trojan DeMar DeRozan with 24 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. The Clippers lose their third straight and drop to 6th in the West. And the Lakers in Orlando looking for their first win on this Grammy road trip. And the Clarkson Five got the purple and gold in the groove. Jordan Clarkson with 11 points in the first half as LA built a 14-point halftime lead. But no lead, or Laker lead at least, to save. Former Trojan Nikola Vucevic helps bring Orlando back. 14 of his 25 points in the second half, including the bucket to tie the game at 91 and send it into overtime. And in the extra frame, all Orlando, Tobias Harris with a career-high 34 points. The Magic snaps their 10-game losing streak, 103-97 the final in overtime. On the ice, Ducks in the nation's capital, third period, Anaheim down a goal. Ryan Kessler sets up Corey Perry for the equalizer. Perry's 23rd of the season ties the game at 2. The game is decided in a shootout. Ryan Kessler looking to extend things with a wrist shot, but Philippe Grubauer stones him. The Ducks skate away with a 1 point and with a shootout loss.
Well, the latest, craziest, and greatest trends in fitness are all part of the LA Fit Expo, which opens tomorrow at the LA Convention Center. They'll have demos by Olympic athletes, a martial arts competition, even a Fit Kids Zone, something for everyone. Food and fitness coach Lori Corbin has the preview.
The theme of this year's expo is where fun meets fitness. True that. The largest fitness expo on the West Coast promises to be the full Monty of muscle workouts. So many ways to push your weight around. Arm wrestling, the strongest man, pull-up contest, and martial arts.
The reality is everybody in the world could benefit from getting healthier, whether it's through nutrition, through exercise, or just proper motivation.
They're expecting 50,000 attendees, pouring over 670 booths, hoping to educate and inspire. Fit Expo's Mark Mazurek says there's something for everybody, even the little ones. Beyond the heavy lifting, the Battle of the Bar is one of the most visually innovating. There are set moves that each contestant has to perform to get high scores. And how do they make this look so easy? This is the parkour free running workout. While rebounding has remained popular for a few decades, the latest place to jump, an infrared sauna.
We've had average people within 20-minute sessions losing up to 600 calories.
Ed Brown says unlike traditional saunas, this one is only 90 to 100 degrees. All that watching can work up an appetite. There is plenty of nutrition to keep you on your game.
The expo runs Saturday 10 to 6:30, Sunday 10 to 5. It costs $25 a day, but if you go both days, they take $10 off. And you're going to want to wear a tracker and maybe some comfy clothes, because if you tour the whole convention, you're going to put on a few miles. In downtown LA, Lori Corbin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
They did make it look easy.
Yeah.
All right, well, there is more news straight ahead here at 7:30 and ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. 3 people under arrest tonight accused of targeting gamblers at a local popular casino. Plus, a well-dressed man is caught on surveillance video climbing on the roof of a restaurant. So what was this dapper thief looking for? These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. From the TV screen to the ice cream shop, the Sharknado phenomenon is inspiring a new ice cream flavor. Snacknado will be the flavor of the month at Baskin-Robbins shops in March. Lucky guests in Burbank today got a sneak peek of the flavor dished up by Sharknado star Ian Ziering. Sharknado ice cream features a mix of salty caramel flavored ice cream along with chocolate covered potato chips and pretzels swirled with candy and fudge.
Sounds good. I'd try it.
Sounds sinful in a good way.
You bet. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7:30 in LA56. Law and Order SVU is coming up next in LA56.
Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7 and anytime on ABC7.com.